Nearly 1,000 foreign troops from 17 countries will participate in China's military parade, marking the 70th anniversary of the end of the Second World War. It will be the first time for foreign armies to join a military parade in China. Han En-ze, a senior lecturer at School of Oriental and African Studies, University of London, says the upcoming parade is one of the headlines in world news.
And certainly on China's part, I think it's a big decision, at least from the current government, basically to invite many world leaders to attend. And also I think that there's tremendous interest in terms of the world media, in terms of who is going to attend the military parade. And so certainly this is one of the big foreign policy items for the current Chinese government.
Han speaks highly of Chinese people's contributions to the victory of World Anti-Fascism War, which were as important as that of the Europe-centered stage.
And certainly, when we think about in Europe, usually the conception is that World War II is pretty much European-centered kind of opinion, right? But certainly, we think about globally, and the theater in Asia, particularly the 8-year war resisting the war of resistance against Japanese aggression in China was a big part of this, let's say, the global, during World War II period, a big part of the global theater.
Alessio Patalano, senior lecturer in war studies from King's College London, says there are two different layers of significance of China's V-Day parade.
One is external, and by the way we understand the parade wants to commemorate the end of World War II, there is a clear sense of shift in the narrative of how to portray that period of history, one in which both Communist Party, PLA on the one hand, and the Kuomintang and the nationalist forces on the other were involved into it. So by seizing the initiative, certainly there is a degree of an attempt to shift away from used to be the tension between the two realities of China at the time, shifting away from using this as a way of engaging with domestic politics and more on unifying the picture of China on the one hand and place it in a fight against an external enemy.
He says there is also a second level of understanding as a way to commemorate to the past in connection for the current leadership in China.
In particular, President Xi Jinping has been very clear. He wanted to bring sort of an element of change, the anti-corruption campaign, in order to clear up some of the high-ranking, high sort of levels of with the bureaucracy in the private sector, in order to create a much more sort of dynamic and strong fabric for further development. And what is interesting about the parade is very much in line with this idea of creating a new, reinvigorated, strong image of China.
Han believes that the military parade aims to show his commitment to peace. The event is to remember the history, to commemorate the martyrs, to cherish the peace, and to embark on a brighter future.
I think, on the one hand, certainly from the speeches that made by the Chinese government, that they mentioned that it's not specifically about Japan. It's about, let's say, about peace, about the past, and it's about looking toward the future.
The September the 3rd parade will be the first to commemorate the anniversary of victory in the Chinese People's War of Resistance against Japanese aggression and the Second World War.